No.
On tonight's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, we're going to be talking about Halo, Moon Knight, Elon Musk is buying Absolute Geek, and some more geek news. Hit that video, Max.
Oh boy. You're coming out of your computer, dude. Everything is echoing, by the way.
Just play the video. Welcome to the Absolute Geek Podcast. My name is Lance.
I'm Max, and ignore my comment that you were echoing. I'm an idiot. I had the YouTube video playing in another tab, so when we went live, it started playing.
Did you see me look like during the video was playing? Could you see the little screen in the thing? I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I could.
Because I went and checked, and it says, because I can hear myself. Like I have this direct monitor thing where I can hear my own voice.
Yeah.
That way I can wear both things, because it sucks that I can't hear myself sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You had an eventful week. I don't know how much you want to talk about, but how'd your week go?
It was a week. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I have been studying like crazy for these exams, and so that was stressful enough. And then we had a family emergency yesterday that I really just don't feel like getting into. Maybe another week. But so I had this exam scheduled for midnight this morning. So my intention was...
And why was it midnight?
Because I made a mistake. I thought it was supposed to be 12:15 p.m. and I scheduled it for 12:15 a.m. like an idiot. But anyway, I passed the exam, so that's good. But I had the exam which was already stressful to do it at midnight, and I couldn't reschedule it. And then my internet started to go out, and so I'm trying to like cram in my final studying. Then I'm freaking out because it's an at my house like proctored exam, and like via the internet. And my internet crashes and it won't come back up. I'm like, frick, so that's happening. And I'm like, crap, do I need to go to Best Buy and get like an Ethernet cable? Is my router down? Ended up being my internet provider was doing maintenance in the area. But and then a family emergency happened, and I was at the hospital for like hours. And then I got home and was able to take the test. But the whole week was stressful. But yesterday was probably one of the worst days of my life. It was awful. It's awful. Luckily, everyone's okay. Because I did just say we went to the hospital, but everyone's okay. But we had a little bit of a scare.
Sticks says those damn Arizona squirrels. We call those chihuahuas, Sticks. In Arizona, we call those chihuahuas. Yeah, man. My week, dude. Work, like, I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love everybody I work with. But this week, dude, like, I just could not wait for it to end, man. Like, it dragged on and on and on. And
yeah,
I don't know. So it's not normal if you don't have a 1 week like that, right? Like, where it just feels like you can love your job and then have a week that's just like, this week sucks.
Yeah, I think I can still say I love my job, even though I haven't really gotten into it yet. But my previous role I loved, and I'm still at the same company. But yeah, dude, there were weeks, sometimes even like full months, that I was just like, oh my gosh, it's just too stressful, too much going on. So yeah, no, I feel you. You can love a place that you work and still have bad weeks.
I think what it is that this week Anna started training for her new job. So before it was like, okay, I could work and then I get off work and then maybe Anna and I could sit down and watch a show together, because the parenting is split at that point. Yeah. Not anymore, because I'm working, I get off work, and then she starts training as soon as I get off work.
Yeah, and you've got to...
And so, like, I'm working and then I'm primetime parent, you know what I mean, on top of it. So, so she's watching the girls while I'm working, and then I got to go and watch the girls while she's working. And so you can just feel that level of responsibility. It's different. Sure. I've always been a dad, but it's just different because...
Yeah.
But
I hear you.
It's nice though, her working. I can tell she's a lot happier, so that's really good. You know,
yeah, get her out of the house. Yeah,
yeah.
I
mean, right now all the training's from the house, but yeah, eventually she'll start getting out of the house.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then I started buying my computer parts.
Oh yeah, we're gonna build you a nice PC.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be baller.
I like my job enough to keep going, but the kids I work with, they are pushing buttons. Yeah.
What do you do, Sticks? Work with kids? I didn't know that.
I also bought a gimbal. Have you seen these?
Is that the video thing you were showing us?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's an image stabilizer.
So did you put your phone in that and then it follows you around?
Yeah, so you can put your phone in it and rear or front facing, you can pick something on the screen, and as you move, it'll follow that. So like I was walking down the street, I snapped the stop sign as I'm walking past. It's kind of like it stabilizes on that stop sign.
That's cool.
So, and then it's really cool, dude. I love it. So when we go to Comic-Con, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, no, that'll be cool. That'll be really cool.
But, yeah, man, I've been wanting one for a while. This is what, I want to say Tyler bought one of these.
I think so.
You know, but yeah, this thing's awesome, dude. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tonight on the Absolute Geek Podcast, we are excited to announce that Mr. Musk, the muskiest man alive, has purchased the Absolute Geek Podcast for 45 cents a share. There's 3 shares. So
not even $1.50.
Yeah. $1.35 after taxes. That's like 54 cents.
Oh man, that'll get us one beefy Frito burrito at Taco Bell. Oh man. By the way, so I made this image and I sent it to you guys. The response that I got from Matt, he thought it was so funny, dude. And I was like, "Oh, dude, this is clever." No, he thought it was hysterical. So that made my day.
I thought it was really good too. I thought it was quite funny. I just didn't express myself in the message. Although Matt, I think, did find it funnier than me. I can't remember what he said. He was like, "Man, I'm still laughing about that."
But yeah, man. So tonight we're going to talk about Halo, Moon Knight. There's not a whole lot of headlines, which is interesting because CinemaCon just happened, but there's not a whole lot of headlines to talk about in geek news this week. A couple big bombshells though.
Yeah, there are a few.
Why don't we start by getting into geek news?
Sounds good, man. Geek news, excellent.
Excellent. All right. So, John Watts has left the Fantastic Four movie, which I feel like every time a director in the MCU leaves a movie, we're all like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And then that movie comes out, and it's like, "Oh, that was awesome."
Yeah.
Like Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, and I was like, "Oh, my world just ended." Like it sucked, right? Like,
yeah.
I was so looking forward to seeing what Edgar Wright could do with a Marvel movie. He left. Peyton Reed comes in. Ant-Man was awesome. Doctor Strange, the new one that's coming out. The original director left. I can't remember his name.
I don't know, but it's Sam Raimi, right? It's Sam
Raimi. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. The trailers look like it's going to be awesome. So I don't know why we freak out. What's interesting though is that John Watts has become kind of like a Marvel staple, right? He directed all 3 Spider-Man movies, is pivoting to Fantastic Four, and then leaves. So either he wants to maybe kind of take a break from this big budget superhero movie type franchises,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who do you think they should bring in to oversee the rest of this movie? Because it's going to get made.
Joss Whedon. Yeah. Bring Joss. So I'm with you though on the whole not being like worried per se. I do think it would have been cool to see an Edgar Wright full vision like for Ant-Man. Like I do think that would have been cool. But John Watts is he's great, but whatever. It's funny that you say you associate him with Marvel now. I don't necessarily. The Russo brothers and Jon Favreau I do, which is also funny because Jon Favreau really hasn't directed anything since like Iron Man 2. He's more of the Star Wars.
He did Iron Man 3, right?
Did he do Iron? No, he didn't do Iron Man 3 though. Somebody else. I can't remember who that was. Yeah, it was somebody else.
Oh.
But as for who do I want them? Taika Waititi. He's another name that I associate with Marvel now.
Yeah, but John Watts has directed more movies than Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Than Jon Favreau.
Oh, James Gunn, I guess, is another one.
Then he's directed more movies than James Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean, this was going to be his fourth Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So if you really look at it, he's more Marvel than any of those guys you just named.
Not the Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers have done 3, right?
They did.
If you count Infinity War and Endgame being 2 separate movies.
So then they've done 4. They did Winter Soldier. They did Civil War. They did Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
So they've done a lot. And I mean, their name is one that comes to mind. I think they could do it. But I don't know. I'm not that worried. Marvel's good at picking talent. I think you could get Zack Snyder in here, and that would be
that. Oh no.
Why am I blanking on her name? She's directed. She's an actress, and she's directed a few of the Mandalorian episodes. I wonder if she could be
Ron Howard's daughter.
Bryce Dallas Howard. I wonder if she'd be good in a Marvel movie, like having her. I don't know if she's done film as much. I know she's done the TV shows, but
I don't know. I like her. Styx brought up Patty Jenkins. I don't want that really because Patty Jenkins, the first Wonder Woman was great. The second one, not so great. Yeah. I mean, John Watts. I mean, he like as however you feel about the 3 Spider-Man movies, they are good movies.
John Krasinski. I'm not even really kidding. Like, if he is Mr. Fantastic.
He did it in A Quiet Place.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was joking about Joss Whedon and Snyder, but John Krasinski, I mean, that could work. Or should we get Ben Affleck over here? Get him doing a Marvel movie? I don't know if Fantastic Four fits his style, though. He's like Ben Affleck's really good at like gritty stuff, is what I've noticed in his style.
But I kind of want to see Fantastic Four be not as gritty as the reboot was with Michael B. Jordan and stuff, but not as campy as the original 2, right? I kind of want to see something in the middle. Ben Affleck maybe could. I mean, I doubt it, though.
He did The Town. He did
Argo is one of the greatest movies ever.
And those are like more serious in tone than a Marvel movie is. You know, Live by Night was another one he did, and I liked that one personally, but I know other people didn't. Did he do The Accountant, or was he just the lead actor in that? I don't think he directed The Accountant.
I don't know.
But anyway, I don't think Ben Affleck would be necessarily the right choice, but
I think Ben Affleck would actually make like a pretty good
Batman movie?
No, why am I blanking on the thing's name? Ben.
I don't know.
Oh, geez, he'd make a good thing in Fantastic Four, like do the voice of it or something. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, or Vin Diesel. Just have Vin Diesel always be the CGI characters.
But yeah. So, do you like what I put on there? Oh wait, Tom's not in this movie. I'm out. All right. What's next? We got. Geez. Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Go ahead. Okay, I will do it.
You do it. I relinquish.
All right.
CinemaCon confirmed a few new movies, sequels. Just by looking at this list, there's only 2 that I'm excited for. One that my wife is excited for, and 3 that probably shouldn't need to be made.
I know exactly which two you're excited for. The Batman and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for those two. I'm interested in seeing Avatar. It's nice that it finally has a name. I mean, not that I cared. Avatar 2 would have been fine. El Muerto, like, if it's going to be a parody movie, then maybe. Because, like, I had never heard of the character, but I looked him up. I'm like, that sounds like a joke. That sounds like a joke character.
He looked like Bane.
Yeah, but, like, without...
I don't know him either.
The cool powers. I don't know. Venom 2 sucked, so I'm not really interested in a Venom 3, unless it has Spider-Man in it. If we can get this in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe, then I'm in, and I'm interested in that. Wicked, I'll watch it. I like musicals, but I hadn't really.
My
heard
wife
that they
is
were
excited
making,
about that one.
Well, I hadn't heard they were making Wicked as a movie, but Ariana Grande is going to be in it, and that's fine.
Ugh.
She's got a beautiful voice, but can she act?
No, she doesn't.
She has
Ariana Grande. Okay, Ariana Grande has excellent range, but the girl literally sounds like she's sleeping all the time. That's my one issue. I think there's plenty of other people that have better voices than Ariana Grande. I can't stand how she's constantly compared to Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey has a voice. Ariana Grande sounds like she took some Ambien and is singing.
Yeah, dude. So Patrick is saying it's Sony. They're clueless, dude. Seriously, I saw this news about the El Muerto thing, and I'm like, they are scraping the bottom of the barrel here. And we talked about that last week. Like I said, they don't really have much to pull from, so they're just doing whatever. El Muerto? Like, okay, it's cool that it's going to have a Hispanic lead. Like, that's fine. But why El Muerto? Like, that's... I don't know. It's just...
There's so many other characters, too, that I'm like, you know, what about a Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider movie? What about, you know, Spider-Woman's coming out? What about a Miles Morales? Yeah, I know obviously they're doing that in the animated thing, but why can't they do these other things? Like, why are they doing El Muerto? Why don't they do a movie of Miles Morales and have him fight all these guys? And it can be adjacent to the MCU or something. I don't get it, man.
Okay, so in the comments, who was it? Stick said you're just a Sam and cat hater, and I googled that because I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a Disney or Nickelodeon show.
So is that where Ariana Grande got her start? Was actually in like a Disney?
Yeah. Show? So Sam and Cat is a spinoff of Victorious. I know this because my daughter watches all these. Sam and Cat is a spinoff of Victorious. I think Ariana Grande was in Victorious or Victoria.
I honestly didn't know that she acted. I thought all she did was sing, and so I'm like, wait, they're casting her as a lead in a movie?
Oh yeah, she acted before she sang. I mean, all those Disney kids did.
Well, I didn't know she was a Disney kid. I had no idea.
Yeah. My daughter is obsessed with Sam and Cat and Victorious, which is has Victoria. Oh, I can't remember her last name, but she was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show TV reboot thing. That was god awful, but I don't know. Ariana Grande. Did Stumbling at Jedi asked what is Ambien? It's a sleeping medication.
Did we bring up Ambien?
I did. I said it sounds like she slips a couple Ambien and then starts singing.
Oh, I was like, I could probably use some because I've gotten like no sleep this last week due to everything going on, and
the girl that dated Bieber was Selena Gomez.
Yeah, Selena Gomez. I like Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Stumbling Jedi, I don't know if you're like away from a computer or driving, but Google is your friend, my man. But I mean, if you're unsafe to Google, then don't Google.
Why would I hate our Spanish brothers? El Muerto's a dumb idea. I don't know. But heck yeah for Ghostbusters, dude. Like, we already kind of knew Batman was coming, so this did not shock me at all.
No, in fact, when I saw the news, I'm like, oh, that wasn't already confirmed.
Matt Reeves is going to do 3 movies. I'm pretty sure the only reason he did the first one is because they said, yes, you'll get to make 3 of them. He has a plan for a trilogy. There's going to be 3 of these movies, and then it's going to be over probably. But Ghostbusters... that was one that was not confirmed.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think, last week. You were saying, why haven't they confirmed Ghostbusters? And then here we are, a week later.
Dude, because that movie, that's one of my favorite movies that came out last year. Just, it kept It kept true to the original tone. That girl, McKenna Grace, is fantastic. Which, by the way, she has a new song of, you made what's it called? Something about Nirvana. You ruined Nirvana is what it's called. She's singing to an ex-boyfriend that says, "I can't listen to Nirvana anymore because you ruined it for me." And it's a great song. It's a little poppy, a little punky, but so she has a really nice voice too. But I want to see. Now I could do without Finn Wolfhard. But McKenna Grace, that's the future of Ghostbusters. It's never been more exciting to be
awesome.
a Ghostbusters fan than now. Like, I'm so stoked.
Yeah, McKenna Grace is great, and I mean, it looked like they were intending to bring some of the original back for a sequel. I know Bill Murray's not super interested, but Dan
Aykroyd will be involved with Ghostbusters till the day he dies.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And it looked like Ernie Hudson
appears to be kind of the leader now of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that he's the bankroll.
Yeah.
Right. Bill Murray, it's amazing that they got him to do this one. I think had Harold Ramis not died, Bill Murray probably would not have done it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or he would have done it, but they would have had to make him appear as a ghost, which is funny because Bill Murray for years, even before the reboot came out with the all females, he says, "I'll come back and do Ghostbusters, but I want to be a ghost." He said it several times. "I want to be a ghost. I want to be a ghost." Harold Ramis dies. Now Harold Ramis gets to be the ghost, and Bill Murray didn't. So basically took Bill Murray's idea, made Harold Ramis the ghost. I don't know, dude. I'm stoked.
One of the things I loved in the latest movie was the reverse shocking thing when why am I thinking? I'm blanking on the character's name, but when he's getting shocked by his wife.
Yeah.
Why can I not think of the actress's name? She's huge. She's an alien.
It's Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. Thank you. Like
wait.
Most prominent female actress of the 80s. Yes, it's Sigourney Weaver. You were right.
Okay.
Anyways,
see how I second guess myself when I say something?
Yeah. So when I rewatched,
it's so funny. It's such a funny scene.
When I rewatched Ghostbusters leading up to the remake or the reboot, I literally was like, "Dang, Bill Murray, he's kind of a scummy dude. Like, it's kind of creepy what he's doing. Like, he's clearly like this guy in his 30s. He's a professor." And he's trying to like hit on all these college chicks.
Oh, dude, that shit would not have happened. They would not be able to put that in a movie now.
No. Well, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, it's funny because like it's a joke. Like I can still laugh at it. But I'm thinking about that in real life. Like that is so not okay. Not okay. And so that's why it was kind of funny for him to get shocked. And, they were joking about that. She's like, "You really did this to people?" Yeah.
The one downside of this movie, and it's hard to find anything to complain about, but in the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie, Rick Moranis would have just put the icing on the cake, dude. If he was in it. If he was in it, that would have just been. I think the audience would have erupted had Rick Moranis shown up on screen.
Dude, 100%. And people erupted regardless, but that would have been a huge deal because he doesn't do anything really. I mean, Dan Aykroyd doesn't do a lot either, but it's just different. I think Dan Aykroyd's more like behind the scenes doing stuff in Hollywood. Yeah. But like Rick Moranis left Hollywood. Like he did like a country album and hung out with his family because I'm pretty sure his wife died, if I have that right.
I don't know. I just know that he wanted to raise his daughters. He's starting to come back. So Ryan Reynolds was able to pull him out of retirement to do a commercial and he was in that episode of the Goldbergs. He played the helmet from Spaceballs.
Oh, he played Dark Helmet in that? Did I see that episode?
Well, I think he did the voice. I don't think he's in the suit, but I think he did the voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's done a couple things, and he's been doing voice acting this whole time. Like he's voiced like cartoon characters and stuff, from my understanding, but he wasn't doing like filming shoots and stuff. Now his kids are grown, I don't know. His whole thing was apparently they approached him to do it. He didn't see how it was worthwhile for his like character. He said it didn't really make sense. So he didn't do it. I hope eventually they can find. Could you imagine Paul Rudd and Rick Moranis just feeding off each other?
Oh my goodness, that'd be hilarious. That would be awesome. Which, by the way, Paul Rudd is such a great addition to the Ghostbusters franchise.
He was nice. He was kind of that replacement for Rick Moranis. I felt like he was that humor,
a more handsome replacement. Not that Rick Moranis is a bad-looking guy, but Paul Rudd is a.
Well, Paul Rudd just won sexiest man in the world for People magazine just last year.
And so Kelsey's been watching Friends, and I was watching some episodes with her.
The dude has not aged.
Well, he looks better now than he did 20 years ago when he did Friends.
Oh, it's
crazy.
He looked like a little boy in Friends.
Yeah. And what's funny is that was 10 years after Clueless. And he looked
really
like a little boy.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Clueless was like 95. So it's like 8 years after or something like that. But geez Louise, he's got amazing
I love him.
Aging ability.
I want to see a movie with Paul Rudd, Ryan Reynolds. Who are some more like really funny guys coming out right now? Like there's this like new crop of funny actors. Paul Rudd's been around for decades, but these actors, like get Paul Rudd, who was the other guy? Ryan Reynolds, Kevin Hart, and get a bunch of these guys in a movie.
Yeah.
Put Jack Black in there because Jack Black should be in everything.
Yeah, but he's retiring. But man, that guy's funny.
You say he's retiring?
Yeah, he said that he was only going to do like one more movie, and then he was done.
Jack Black?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I
love Jack Black.
I think it was the end of last year.
Huge gamer nerd too, Jack Black.
Yeah, he did a streaming channel. He wanted to beat Ninja. Pretty sure he didn't. but yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's next, my friend? Remember, I relinquished to you.
All right.
So what's this guy's name again? Matthew
Zod.
Shannon? Is that his name?
Michael Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah, he's gonna be in The Flash.
If it ever comes out.
Yeah.
Good old Ezra Miller. Trying to do anything in his power to not make this movie come out, I guess.
Yeah. I'm down for this. I like that they're connecting all these older movies. Not that Man of Steel's that old, but it is almost 10 years old now. So actually by the time The Flash comes out, Man of Steel will be a 10-year-old movie. That's crazy. Jeez.
They need to make a sequel.
Well,
it's the only one. It's the only one from the Zack Snyder era, I guess you could say, because I don't really count Shazam with that because Shazam came out after Justice League, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the only one from the Zack Snyder era that I was like, oh, I want to see more of this. Like Batman versus Superman wasn't it for me. Justice League wasn't it for me. But Man of Steel was awesome. And that's more so because of Henry Cavill, I think, than Zack Snyder. Yeah, it has some eye-rolling moments.
Yeah.
You know, but I like this. I mean, it's obviously going to be flashbacks of some sort. He's going to be traveling through dimensions because he died at the end of. Well, and they turned him into what's its face in Justice League. Was it Doomsday? Was it Justice League that they turned him into that, or was it Batman versus Superman? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe like a different universe, not the same one for Man of Steel. Maybe time travel related.
I'm just grateful he's coming back.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool, even if it's just like a short cameo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's not a huge role, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
This is news that you're excited to share.
Dude, and I wanted to lead up, like I wanted to segue in the last slide, and I didn't do it because I wanted to sing that I fucking told you.
What did you tell us for the listeners? What did
Max
you tell us?
Max can testify to this. When this came out, what did I do, Max? I sent you and Matt a video.
Yes, you did. 3 seconds long.
It says, I fucking told you. Okay, so not Max. Max is separate from this. I got so much shit because I have been saying this for 3 years.
You have been saying
Taron Egerton is Wolverine. Well, now it looks like it's happening. So suck on that, Matt.
Yeah, according to a giant freaking robot, which like is
it could not be happening, but
they're not like the biggest.
You know what, Max? Let me have my moment.
What I'm saying is they're fairly reliable, I think. Like from what I've seen.
They? They're not like the other one that we don't name?
Yeah, they're not like that one. Yeah, it's not like they've got this covered a lot better. Giant freaking robot. I shouldn't speak too much. It's not like I can name any stories off the top of my head that giant freaking robot has broken that ended up being true, but I also haven't seen anything that was like fake news from them either. Mm-hmm. So I think this could be real. And basically the news story, if you're not like watching the screen, is that their giant freaking robot is reporting that Taron Egerton is in talks to join the MCU as Wolverine. You know what? I'm fine with it. We also talked like a month ago about Daniel Radcliffe, but I think that Taron Egerton would be great.
I would love for Daniel Radcliffe to I think he's a phenomenal actor. And this is coming from the guy that when I watched the first Harry Potter, I said, this kid sucks.
Well,
he was not a good actor, but he is a good actor. I'd be okay with him joining the Marvel Universe in some fashion. Taron Egerton, I think, is a little bit better of a pick as Wolverine than Daniel Radcliffe.
Well, he's got proven physical like fighting ability on his resume already. Like he's awesome.
He fucking looks awesome. Like Boss Logic did this picture on our screen, and that looks awesome, right?
Yeah, it does. It looks cool. It looks really cool.
And plus, he's short, so you're going to get a little bit more of a comic accurate Wolverine. I mean, yeah, he's not from Canada. He's from Britain. But
you know what? So is Superman is from Britain, and he does a great job playing a Kansas boy.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I love this, and I've been saying it for 3 years. I was saying it on Couch Crunchers. Got a bunch of shit from Matt. Got a bunch of shit from Kyle.
Hugh Jackman's Australian.
Yeah.
So whatever.
The fact of the matter is Hugh Jackman's not going to come back into this role. We may or may not see him in this movie that's coming out next week, Doctor Strange, for a brief cameo. But as far as a regular Wolverine actor, it's not going to be Hugh Jackman.
Which, let me just say this right now, and I may be too late already. If you're in the chat and you've heard rumors about it, please keep them to yourself. I don't want to know.
I haven't heard anything. I know that there's supposed to be some surprises, and we do know. I'm just drawing conclusions at this point. We've seen Patrick Stewart in the trailer, right?
Yeah, I could see it happening. I just don't want to hold my breath, and I just want to. If it does happen, I want to be surprised. Like I was rewatching Spider-Man with James earlier today. I just wanted, like, I just threw it on, like, I don't know, a third of the way into the movie, and it got to the part where, sorry, it's been a few months. If you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home now, I'm about to spoil something, but you've probably seen it. When Andrew Garfield shows up.
Fuck that, was Max. Awesome. Man, you spoiled it for me.
Yeah, you saw that. I think you saw it 4 times in theaters. We're good. But like that's a really cool moment, and even still, it's a cool moment when I watch it at home. But I wish I hadn't known about it going in. And
dude, Sticks, that would be awesome.
I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen, but I knew it was happening. So it's just a bummer.
That would be awesome. They get David Hasselhoff get the Hoff in for Nick Fury.
That'd be cool. That would be cool. David Hasselhoff already is in the MCU though, as David Hasselhoff.
What movie was that in?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's
right.
Yeah, but it's fine. They can still do it. Alternate universes, it's fine.
Yeah, all I know is Taron Egerton. I may have a little bit of a man crush on him, and I've been advocating for this for years. I hope it happens. Now it's just in talks, so it could fall through. Mm-hmm. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was attached to Doctor Strange for like 5 years, and then it fell through, and they got Benedict Cumberbatch, which has been great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has.
Honestly, now seeing Benedict Cumberbatch in that role, I can't imagine Joaquin Phoenix as Doctor Strange.
No, I can't either. I can't
like him delivering like, Scooby this shit up or whatever. I can't imagine Joaquin Phoenix saying that line.
I can't either. It's hard to imagine him in like a Marvel type movie, though. You know, he's just.
I think he could be in a Marvel type movie, but I think he would make an awesome villain.
I was just gonna say that villain. He could be a good villain. I mean, he was incredible as Joker. It's just incredible. All right, well, I'm gonna move us on to the next one. I'm so tired. Oh, you got a slide for this.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. You were having me try to talk to James, and I was like,
good time. Batwoman and DC Legends of Tomorrow have been canceled on the CW.
See you later, suckers.
And I hate that I'm saying celebrate good times. And to be fair, I haven't watched the Batwoman, so I can't tell you if it's good or bad. It must not be getting very good ratings if it's getting canceled. I'm just tired of CW stuff, doing like DC CW stuff, and so I'm glad it's getting canceled. I want DC to just all be on HBO Max.
Well, and in addition to this, a couple weeks ago, they announced that the Flash's next season was going to be shortened. They haven't said it's going to be canceled, but it's going to be shortened, which usually means it's probably going to be a final season.
I thought I saw that it was the final season, but that's like season 9 at this point. So
yeah,
that's a good run.
It needs to go. It needs to go. You know, we have Titans, we have Doom Patrol, we have Stargirl, which has been fantastic, and I need to watch that second season. Legends of Tomorrow fell off like the end of the second season, I would say, when they got rid of Rick, whatever his name is.
I think I watched part of season 3 and just kind of moved on. So Supergirl's gone now too, right?
Supergirl ended last year.
Yeah, Supergirl got canceled. Arrow, not canceled. Arrow, finished its run.
Mm-hmm.
So what's left? Is it the Flash, Lois and Clark, or whatever it is?
Which Lois and Clark?
That one's good, you say?
And that one is fantastic. Which, by the way, there's a new episode on my DVR that I need to watch. Lois and Clark can exist without having the Arrowverse attached because of the way they kind of said, "Oh, this alternate reality thing." Supergirl and Superman existed in. They haven't even brought up Supergirl, so the show hasn't connected itself to the Arrowverse in any way. It stands completely.
But it's connected in the sense that it's got like that multiverse stuff.
There's no multiverse stuff in it.
Well, I'm just saying it's part of the multiverse. That's all I mean.
Yeah. They tell you it's connected. We saw Tyler Hoechlin in the
he was
Crisis.
In Supergirl, and then he was in and all that.
But it's never talked about any of that stuff in the show.
Yeah.
They could cancel these shows, and you wouldn't miss a thing as far as Lois and Clark.
If they wanted to come out and say that this is it's the same actors, but it's a different universe.
Which they could. They could say, hey, all that stuff that happened to Superman that you saw in those other shows, yeah, that was a different one. This one just has the same face. Which
honestly makes some sense. And again, I haven't watched Superman and Lois yet, but from what I understand, they have teenage kids, and they weren't like even married.
You're right, Patrick. Lois and Clark was Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain.
Yeah, I said the wrong name. Oh, Dean Cain. Oh, shoot. We just said Dean Cain's name. We're going to get canceled. That man is very hated.
You said Joss Whedon about 30 minutes ago, so that would have been...
Dean Cain is worse than some people.
Joss Whedon is like I don't know. He did something to some women. Dean Cain just has opposing political beliefs. Joss Whedon is he harasses women, apparently.
Well, that's not good. Okay. Really quick, and you may not know the answer to this. They did the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. I think that's the last thing I watched of Arrowverse. Have they done crossover stuff since then?
They did last season. There was something. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
That was the stuff I kind of liked. Like, I loved the Crisis on Infinite Earths when Arrow was ending. Was that 2019? That was really good. I liked that, and I would rewatch that. They had Ezra Miller come in as Flash before he was a disgraced, assault, charged with assault kind of guy. All that, it was cool. And they had Smallville cameos, and
that was cool. Awesome. That's the only reason I watched it.
It was
Tom
cool.
Welling's coming back in? Heck yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. The Crisis on Infinite Earths was really cool.
What's the woman's name that plays Lois?
I don't know, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she was in it too, right?
Yeah, it was cool to see her. She was in it briefly, and then we had Kevin Conroy playing Batman.
That was cool.
In his universe. That was cool to see him as a live action Batman. So Crisis was cool. The CW did some interesting stuff. Overall, I really liked Arrow. I think there were like 2 or 3 seasons of their 7 that I wasn't into, but for the most part, I really liked Arrow. Flash was good for about 3 seasons, and then it just wasn't anymore. Legends of Tomorrow was good for 2 seasons, maybe. Supergirl, I did like maybe for 3 seasons, and then it just, once they got rid of her boyfriend, her love interest, I lost some interest in the show, and that's not just because of him, but just something changed when he left, and I was kind of bummed. He was a really cool character.
That show turned into, and I have no problem against their political standpoints, because I agree with some of them. My problem is that show turned into a platform rather than a TV show.
Yep.
And even if you don't agree or you agree with somebody's political platform, if I want to get that, I could watch, CNN or something. That's not why I'm tuning in. And I think it's okay to sprinkle a little bit of that in there.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But it became the overarching, storyline for Supergirl. And that's where I had issue. And like I said, I agree with some of the stuff they were saying. It's not why I tune in to those kind of shows. Those kind of shows are there, exist for me personally to detach myself from reality, not put me back into it.
Yep.
So that was my issue with Supergirl. That's why I stopped watching. My biggest thing was when they, what was his name? The boyfriend that came from the other planet, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He had superpowers. I think they were married in real life, the two of them, or something like that.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, or it might have been somebody else she was married. She was married to somebody from Glee, and I think that guy was from Glee too, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. And I loved her as Supergirl. I thought she was so good.
Yeah, I think she did pretty good. I liked her suit, and I think the show had some really bright points, but it fell off. There's just, CW hasn't really been good for years now, and I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. What's next on our docket is balls.
Balls. What do you got to say about balls, Max?
Well, if you have...
You don't like them hairy ones, huh?
Hold on. If you have X-ray vision, well, not X-ray vision, laser eyes like Supergirl, and you could just, manscape your man or your lady, whatever, with your supervision, cool. But barring the fact that you have laser vision, which none of us do, get manscaped, okay? It works almost as good as laser vision, and it's man-made, and it escapes your manhood.
Can I just say, no one's getting their laser vision anywhere near my area.
No, that sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
They sneeze, and there goes my scrotum.
Yeah, well, because freaking Man of Steel Superman, his laser vision is like freaking plasma rays, man. That's hot. No, like seriously, there was it was in Man of Steel, I think, when I don't even think he actually shoots Lois with his eyes with his lasers. He just heats them up, and that's enough. Anyway, so Manscaped is the official sponsor of the Absolute Geek Podcast. If you guys want to get 20% off your order, you can use a Geek Podcast on the
coupon code, a Geek
Podcast to get 20% off at manscaped.com and free shipping. We really do love the products. I've been trimming up my nose. I've been trimming up my nether regions. Lance uses it on his back, his butt, his head, everywhere. And he loves it.
You know what's amazing is I have not yet had to go in and ask for a replacement set of clippers. After doing the butt hairs, it did not break them down like every other clipper I've ever owned.
You've got lasted. You need a hedge trimmer down there, and Manscaped does the work.
I got to trim the ass stash.
The Ash Stash. I don't think I've ever heard it referred to that.
Dude, we had a friend. His name was. I'm gonna put him on blast on this podcast. I don't care. His name was Eric Taylor, one of my really good friends. And somehow we caught a glimpse of his rear end, and it looked like his ass had a mustache, but obviously going the other direction. And his nickname for about 20 years after I met him has been Ass Stash.
That's awesome.
I love this dude too, so he won't even be upset.
Well,
that I'm even
if
calling
you
him out,
want to trim your ass stash, get some Manscaped products,
dude. You know, but honestly, like, we do use these products. We love them. They're definitely worth the price that they're putting on them. You get the 20% off. It's fantastic, but definitely recommend getting the crop preserver.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you like, we got like a whole package of sample stuff to try out. And you know, if you want to go to the website and get that, you absolutely can. If you just want to get the crop preserver or just want to get the lawnmower 4.0 or the hedge trimmer, whatever, like, you know, you can get any combination of things, get 20% off. So a geek podcast on manscaped.com.
Yeah. Get it today. All right. What's next, Max? Halo.
Hello
there.
This is what dreams are, halos.
Dude, I fucking love this show, dude. It gets so much hate, and I love it so much. Like, this last episode was fucking awesome. Like, I understand the hate. There's a bunch of Halo fanboys that play the video games, and they tune into the show, and it's completely different in every way. Yes, things look the same, but everything's different about it. Master Chief acts different. There's now apparently a love interest.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I started to think about it. How long could a TV show go? I mean, people basically lost interest in the storyline for Halo after Halo 3. Like, those aren't why those games keep selling, is for the storylines. Remember when Halo 1, 2, and 3 came out, everybody's like, the storyline is great. Like, yes, the multiplayer was there, but it was this great storyline. Then 333 took, what's the name of it? 313?
343.
343. They took over, and the storylines kind of dropped off. And I think that would have happened regardless if 343 took over or if Bungie was still doing it. Because how invested can you get into a character that just goes around killing aliens and stuff? Like, there's no emotional... I don't agree.
I'm very invested in Chief. To be honest, more invested in Cortana. Because Cortana has more of a personality than Chief does. But I hear what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree. The story of Halo 1, 2, and 3 has been better than 3, 5, and 6. Or 4, 5, and 6, sorry. But I still enjoy the story. And I don't hate the show. It's got some things that are okay. But it's not that I'm against a love interest for Chief. Like, it's weird because his love interest in the games is Cortana. Kinda.
Yeah, in this show he like hates Cortana.
Yeah, and that better change, and I think it will.
I think it will. Once he doesn't trust her yet.
Well, and
which
Cortana
is cool because
is becoming more trustworthy.
Yeah, but we never saw that in the games. We never saw like that. All these things that we're seeing, we never saw in the games. We never saw him get implanted with Cortana. She was just there from the beginning.
Was she?
I don't remember any of that happening. Like, I thought.
You're right. I think.
Because I remember the first one, like, you're training, you have to look at you're in that like, that case, and you have to like look over at the different like things. You know what I mean? Like lining up your thing.
I know
she's talking to you. It's
definitely is she? Okay, I believe you. Anyway, I'm so tired. Details are escaping me. In the games it's different because in the show, like, she's implanted like literally into like his brain or something, and in the games she's like a data chip in his helmet. Whatever, that's a difference I can deal with because they want Chief to take his helmet off in the show and they still want Cortana to be there. It's fine. It's not, but again, my issue isn't that it's a love interest. It's who the love interest is. I hate the character. I hate her so much. And she's a bad guy.
I think she could get interesting.
She could maybe, and I don't know. We'll see. There's just something funky going on between her and him. I don't trust her at all. At this point, she doesn't feel redeemable, but maybe she could be.
I don't know, like that. So in this thing, so they finally meet, right? So the end of the last episode, she gets dropped from the ship, and the ship takes off, and Master Chief finds her, and that's pretty much the end, right? In this episode, she's been taken in by the military there, and she's being cleaned up. She's being tested like biologically, and it's testing her levels and all that stuff, and there's a moment that he goes in and he wants to touch the artifact again. He's almost dead at this point. Essentially, they keep telling him to go to the med bay, and he won't. He goes in to touch the artifact, and it like connects the two of them because they're both on the same ship or something. I'm still not understanding what happened, but at that point, I think something changes in both of them, because they go to they have like a shared like
a shared vision of Halo.
Yeah, and they're both there. They I don't know, dude. I'm so interested to see what happens next. Yeah,
that I enjoyed seeing Halo finally in live action. It looked cool.
It looked just correct. Like the game.
Yeah, it looked correct, and I'm really hoping that they get there before the end of the season. Actually get there.
Do you know how many episodes are in this?
Is it 9? I think it's 9.
So this was episode 7, right?
6. Pretty sure this was 6.
What did we just have for what's it called? What episode was this of Moon Knight? Was this 5?
5. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the season.
Okay, so Halo is 6
on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, because Moon Knight came out a week after Halo.
Yeah. Oh, I get to watch the Moon Knight finale on my cell phone. That'll be fun.
Why? Because you're gonna be out.
I'm gonna be traveling. Yeah, unless the hotel has Disney Plus, which it might. I don't know. Some hotels nowadays do. So I guess I could log in and watch it from the hotel TV.
So you need to come over and just grab a Roku stick or something for me. Or don't you have a Google Chrome?
I do, but sometimes hotels won't let those work.
Just use the Wi-Fi on your phone.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Don't you have hotspot on your phone?
Yeah, you're right. That could work. Potentially.
Yeah, I usually bring a Roku with me whenever I go to a hotel, and it usually always works. Or if you want to come borrow my iPad, you can borrow my iPad.
Yeah. Supposed to get an iPad for work. Supposed to be fancy like that. But it hasn't gotten here yet. Anyway, so what else? Do you have anything else you want to say about Halo?
All I know is that I like the imagery in this. I like the contention. I feel like there's more contention with the Halo games. The contention was from Halo to the aliens, and now that it's adding this extra dimension of contention from all these other things going on. Potentially, I think that not only is there a love interest in the bad guy, there's also a love interest in Kai.
Oh, Kai, for Chief?
The other one that removed her.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Chief and Kai.
But I think that could add a storyline later where he essentially has to pick between. I don't know. I like it. I love the show. It bums me out that so many people are saying bad things about it because they want it to be like the games.
It's and I'm kind of grateful it's different.
Not. It's very extremely different. I'm kind of grateful it's not like the games.
I'm liking it for what it is. It's not what I would have wanted out of a Halo show, but I don't hate it. I think what do I like more, Moon Knight or Halo? I think lately I do like Halo a little bit more. The last 2 episodes, anyway. Last episode was the best one. Still, the story of the show is good, but I like it when there's action. Man, it's Halo. There was no action.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing I could say is there's not enough fighting of the Covenant.
Yeah.
They've only been in 2 episodes. There's been
the first episode and the 5th episode. Really, there might have been some in 2 or episodes 2 or 3, but you know what else was pretty good about this episode? I didn't even realize this until right now. No Quan. Was Quan in the episode at all?
She was there as like a vision for him when he was on the ship checking his vitals.
That's right. Oh, that's why this episode is pretty good. She's not.
Her storyline doesn't bother me.
It's not.
My thing is that taking off the helmet, like if they would have left his helmet on the whole time and had the Quan storyline be like a main part of the story, this would have been shot for shot Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of grateful that they didn't do that, but I don't know. You should check out the show. If you're a fan of sci-fi, and first of all, if you're a fan of sci-fi and you've never played Halo the games, you'll like the show. If you're a fan of sci-fi and you can separate the games from this show, you'll like the show. If you're a fan of sci-fi, you love Halo, and you want to see a shot-for-shot remake of Halo, you will not like the show.
Yeah. You have to be open to it being different.
Yeah, so, but I love it. All right, what's next?
Hold on, do not say the name that's on screen, because that's not what the show is about. This is Stephen and Mark's Excellent Adventures. That's what the show is.
And the Temple of Doom.
Yeah. This is not Moon Knight. Moon Knight has been in the show, I don't know, 5% of screen time.
Right.
He wasn't in the first episode at all, I don't think, or maybe very briefly in the first episode, a little in the second and third episodes. Hasn't been in episodes 4 or 5, other than like a brief flashback moment in episode 5. So this is not Moon Knight, and that is my biggest gripe. I don't hate it. The story is interesting. I enjoyed the episode overall. I like the psychological stuff that's going on, but this is not a Moon Knight show. And if this is the only time we're going to get to see Moon Knight, what a bummer. Like,
there's only one episode left.
Yeah. Like, and then his girlfriend, I can't think of her name. She wasn't in this episode.
Layla.
That was a little bit of a bummer because I like Layla a lot. She's a really good character. But
this show, I don't know. Does this show not know what it is? Like, that's kind of what I feel like. Like, I feel like they have a story to tell, but they weren't sure like how to tell the story. Like 6 episodes is incredibly short. Like I don't feel like we've really learned
this show
much
feels
of anything
extra. Like that's an issue.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the other ones, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I didn't mind it being 6. Hawkeye being 6 was fine.
But you were acquainted with those characters prior.
Exactly. That's the point I was about to make. Like I knew them already. I had their backstory, so it's easy to just jump in. I don't feel like I know Moon Knight very well still, or I mean Stephen and Grant. I do feel like I know them well, and this episode did a good job. Like that's
Stephen and Mark.
Stephen and Mark. What did I say?
Stephen and Grant.
Oh, Stephen Grant. Yeah. Anyway, that's what this episode did well. I loved getting backstory on them. I liked getting into the psyche of Mark. The discovery that we made about who Stephen is, which wasn't really a big surprise to me because I don't know. I've just done a little bit of research on like dissociative identity disorder, and that's pretty common. That like trauma.
I loved that the explanation of that
personality. Yeah, it makes perfect sense in a clinical world as like in reality, and it was cool. And I really enjoyed that. And Oscar Isaac, dude, is a great actor.
Yeah,
he really makes it feel like those are two characters. It is, and it's easy to tell which one is which. They could be wearing the same clothes, and I feel like I would know which character is which based on like
you could tell even from their face.
Yeah, the way they face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my issue with this show was this last episode. I loved it. Right. I shouldn't say I loved it. I liked it a lot. I didn't love it. No episode of the show have I been like, that was fucking awesome. Like I haven't had that moment. I like this because it gets into the psyche and it explains his psychosis in a really interesting way as far as like these rooms and these memories, and it really makes that disorder that he have very you're able to understand it better because of the rooms and things and seeing the trauma that put him in this place.
Yeah.
My issue is there's one episode left. We know that there's a third identity. We have yet to be introduced to that identity. They've teased it several times with the red sarcophagus in that room that they did not open, with the what was it? 2 episodes ago, or maybe last episode, where they're both blacking out and neither of them remember what happened.
Yeah, I was 100% sure, and I was wrong, that they were going to reveal that in this episode. When they said your hearts aren't balancing, I'm like, oh, that's because they haven't revealed the third personality yet. And then they didn't reveal the third personality. And so now I'm questioning if they're going to.
And then the other thing,
feels like they are, because like you said, the sarcophagus and the other stuff. Like,
just introduce Jake Locke already. Like, I want to see this ruthlessness. But the problem is now, I don't know if I want to see the ruthlessness now that Stephen Grant, spoiler alert, he essentially dies in this episode unless there's some way they can bring him back. I understand why he died, because the whole journey of this episode kind of makes it to where he doesn't need Stephen Grant anymore. Right? Where he comes to terms with how his mother treated him, and he comes to terms with, and it even kills him, and then the scales level, right? So he's able to go to the field of whatever reeds, they call it, the field of reeds.
Yeah.
So he's able to come to peace with himself, which doesn't make sense because there's a third personality. So how the hell did he come to peace with himself if there's this third personality? It's just, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense to me. There's a lot of stuff that I want to see more of. One of those being Moon Knight. I want to see more Moon Knight. The show's called Moon Knight. Why is he not in the show? I don't.
Lance, but why would Moon Knight need to be in the show? If I go to a Batman movie, I don't expect to see Batman. I expect to see Bruce Wayne. I expect to see both, but it's the ratio is so off. Yeah. And I'm not liking that. I still don't like, I haven't done a ton of research on Moon Knight, so I'm not overly familiar with his powers. I'm nearly a whole season into his show. I don't understand his powers still. I know he can heal. I know he's good at combat, but Mark is good at combat. So it's not the suit that gives him that. Yeah. Does it make him stronger? Like, I don't really know. I don't understand his powers. And that's because I haven't seen Moon Knight.
I wonder if this show would have been better as a movie with a clear beginning, middle, and end. And
I think the story is interesting. It could have been. A movie,
like all this could have been, like everything we've seen could have been the first half of a movie.
Well, what I was going to say, actually, I'm slightly going to disagree with you. I was thinking the first few episodes or whatever could have been the first act of the movie. And then the last 2 episodes where he hasn't had the Moon Knight like costume could have been the second act. And then the whole third act, maybe the last like 45 minutes to hour of the movie or whatever.
He gets his power back.
He has his power back and he's doing more. So it's like, okay, he's got a 20-minute, 30-minute stretch in the movie where he doesn't have his powers. That's fine when you have a 2.5-hour movie or whatever.
Which we've seen that a lot in movies. Iron Man and Iron Man 3 loses his suit for most of for midway through the movie. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man No More, he loses his stuff, the web block or whatever.
Yeah, or like the superhero will give up their powers for part of the movie, or just like they'll quit. That's a common storyline. So it's fine.
Yeah, Thor and Thor 1, I mean, he gets sent to Earth and doesn't have his powers for.
There you go.
It's a pretty common trope in these superhero movies that they at some point lose their powers.
In fact, that's actually probably. Well, he has his powers in like the first act. The whole second act he doesn't. It's like near the end of the third act by the time he gets his powers back. So it's similar to what I was just describing. Yeah. Yeah.
You described 90% of the superhero movies we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. 90% of the superhero movies we've seen, but it works, right?
Yeah.
In this case, we have basically the first act, you get a little taste of his powers, so you don't even get to really see how he gets those powers until the end of the second act, essentially, because we learned how he got his powers in this last episode. And then, or the beginning of the third act, I guess, you learn how he got his powers. He still doesn't have his powers back. So we're getting into the final 20 minutes of the movie. And by the way, this next episode is supposed to be the shortest Marvel episode that they've ever produced.
Wait, shorter than a WandaVision episode?
Yes, it's the shortest.
What? I thought these were supposed to be like hour-long episodes.
None of these have been an hour.
Well, I know, but like 45 minutes, like over 30 minutes. Like I thought they were. Well, that's
I didn't go in the article because I was worried about spoilers, but the headline of the article said it broke a record for shortest.
Okay, episode 6 length. Let's see if I can. Sorry, I'm typing loud. All right. What's this? The direct. They are actually someone that I think we can believe. What does it say here? This oddly, a record-breaking finale length. According to such and such insider, the upcoming Moon Knight finale will be 42 minutes. Okay. So it's not shorter than a WandaVision episode, meaning it will run approximately 40 to 45 minutes long at Disney Plus in the US and other regions. Not only will it make it the shortest episode of Moon Knight, but it will also make it the shortest of all the live-action MCU show finales. Okay. Headline was misleading. It's just the shortest of the finales.
Which is amazing because we haven't learned anything. I feel like the show could have 3 more episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I said that about one of the other shows too. I was like, well, what the heck? Nothing's happened. And then it wrapped up in the 6th episode and I was pretty satisfied. But this one does feel different because, yeah, I don't know. There just seems like there's a lot of loose ends. They haven't really interacted with Harrow. I mean, they interacted with Harrow as like the psychiatrist, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the villain plot hasn't been developed super well. And it's just a disjointed show to me. There's some good aspects.
It's a shame because I love this actor.
It's the worst of the live action, and I worry that because the show isn't amazing, that Moon Knight won't really be in any other aspects of the MCU after this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which I'm actually starting to agree with you, by the way, on the other point you made recently.
What's that?
Where's the connection to the MCU?
There hasn't been one.
Now I know that's like, because I was saying, well, just wait, and there's still maybe something in episode 6, but I'm just like, we're now all the way through the show almost, and this could be in Earth 300 instead of 616 or whatever the MCU is.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that the last episode of this is the same day that Doctor Strange comes out at. So I wonder if there might be some. The last episode is Wednesday. Doctor Strange comes out Thursday.
So it's not the same day. You said it was the same day. Wednesday and Thursday are different days.
Yes, you're right. You're taking me to they're happening sequentially. Like it's just
they're very close
one
by.
ends and then the next one. It's giving people enough time to watch it so they can go see Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything tied in, but
I'm just being hopeful at this point that I hope there is some sort of teaser at the end. Something that connects it, because nothing has connected it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Doctor Strange would actually mesh fairly well with the lore here, with all these gods and everything. I think, having the Sorcerer Supreme, well, he's not the Sorcerer Supreme right now, but, the sorcerers would mix well with these Egyptian gods and whatnot.
Yeah. Honestly, after watching this show, I could tell you I would have been okay if they never made it, because I don't feel like it adds anything. I mean, it doesn't even have, like, Miss Marvel is coming out. That show is coming out in June or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually going to have like Brie Larson in it and stuff. So you see how it connects to everything.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you, which is really not my favorite thing to say, because I've heard about Moon Knight for so many years and been interested in like seeing him in live action, and I'm just kind of disappointed, and I would have been okay if it wasn't made. So I don't know.
Leftover, I disagree with you. He says no as a movie would be a no-go. They would lose money. I disagree with you. Marvel has made it a point to make us interested in these movies of characters that nobody really knows. I mean, look at Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, people went and saw it.
Yeah, it was awesome too.
Ant-Man was, as far as, like, obviously people like us knew about Ant-Man, but the general public didn't know who Ant-Man was, didn't know who Shang-Chi was, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, they are able to make us interested. They slap MCU on it, people go and see it. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, even Black Widow, post-pandemic, which was an awful movie, people went and saw. Captain Marvel, awful movie, made over $1 billion. And these are not characters that anybody outside of the nerd community has any knowledge of, really. The first Iron Man, most people didn't know who that was.
I had heard of Iron Man, and seen him in like probably some episodes of like the animated Spider-Man series, but yeah, he wasn't a character I was overly familiar with. I'll tell you, I'll be perfectly honest, because I've never been really a comic reader. So before the MCU started, I could have told you Spider-Man, obviously, Captain America. I was familiar with the X-Men, super familiar with the X-Men. That's about it. That's probably it. I don't think I would
know who Fantastic Four was.
Sorry, Fantastic Four. I knew Fantastic Four, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you who Black Widow was, who Hawkeye was. I mean, I knew who Iron Man was. Moon Knight, definitely didn't know who that was. Guardians,
but he wasn't like a tentpole character.
Ant-Man, I didn't know. Captain Marvel, I didn't know.
Yeah,
like a lot of these characters I had never even heard of, and so that's why I'm so excited about the X-Men being brought in, because that's like always Spider-Man and the X-Men have always been like my favorite things of Marvel. And so now to get to see the X-Men in the MCU is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited for next week.
Me too. Like, I'm going to say something. If you are completely trying to not know anything about Doctor Strange, I'm going to talk about the trailer. Like, this is something we've seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart. Like, that's cool.
And there's a rumor that he's going to be in his freaking chair. Like the chair from the cartoon. Like not like cool. A regular wheelchair with like one of those floating.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So like that's awesome. And I'm sure there's going to be other cameos. I don't want to know what any of them are ahead of time, but that's super exciting. And obviously we've had X-Men movies. It's not like we've been deprived of live action X-Men. I mean, the most recent one was 2019, Dark Phoenix.
Well, we've been deprived in the fact of those have all sucked.
Of good ones. Well, not all of them. Logan was one of the best comic book movies ever made. Days of Future Past, I loved. And Matt, I know, didn't.
Days of Future Past was good, but it's also confusing as all hell. It's good because, yeah, it has lots of issues, but X-Men it's still a fun watch. It's not an absolute shitstorm that is Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix. Those are bad.
Yeah, what's up with Oscar Isaac? He keeps doing Egyptian like themed characters within Marvel, and then they're not successful.
Well, people are watching this, so I wouldn't say it's not successful. This is better. This is better than Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse.
Yeah. I don't hate Apocalypse. I don't love it, but
I hate it because he doesn't look like what I think Apocalypse looks like.
Yes, the look of Apocalypse was pretty atrocious.
He looks like Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie.
He does. His look was absolutely horrible. And that was such a bummer.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we pretty much said all we could say about this. So there's one more slide I want to touch on, and I saved it for the end. Neil Adams passed away today. Co-creator of Ra's al Ghul, Man-Bat, Green Lantern, Jon Stewart. He and Denny O'Neil are credited with bringing the realism and grittiness to Batman, as well as they drew for X-Men, the Avengers, lots of things. But he passed away today, and he's really, kind of the pioneer for this Batman, the way we see Batman now. Yeah. Without him, Robert Pattinson, that movie probably wouldn't have been made, and Joker and all these things. So those realistic takes. So, thoughts go out to his family and fans and everything. So,
absolutely. Rest in peace, Neil Adams.
This may be our shortest episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast ever produced. 1 hour and 13 minutes.
Well, let's make sure it's over before 1 hour and 15. This episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast has been a blast. It's been a drowsy one for me. It's brought to you by Manscaped. Use the Geek Podcast at manscaped.com. Promo code a Geek Podcast to get 20% off of free shipping.
Yeah. Go do it today. And go get your tickets to Doctor Strange. It comes out this coming Thursday. We're almost there. Get to see America Chavez and some multiverse shenanigans.
Multiverse madness.
Madness.
We'll be talking about it on Friday.
But yeah, go check us out on TikTok. Oh, we actually are in the running for best in Arizona, best of the Valley for podcast in Arizona, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is. It's awesome.
We made top 10. Yeah, so May 1st, we'll be sending out a link. Go vote for us, please. But pretty big accomplishment. We're pretty proud of ourselves. But yeah, for the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
And we'll catch you next time on the Flippity Flop. Hit that music, Matt.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks, let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll
make
go
sure you're
ahead
listening
and spread
to the
our
geeks.
cheeks
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
The Absolute Geek Podcast is not associated with Bill Cosby.
wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute